49, 37, 28, 15, and 07. Pivot 58, support 49, 37, 28, 15, 07, resistance on the upside at 70, 79, 89, 96, and 4604 as we continue this rotation up here to the upside. And even though there was a kind of a bad number here in regards to the ADP number that came out, they were expecting plus 187, came out at minus 300. So it was a big miss, to say the least. All right. Welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the levels that we gave out as support and resistance, and as well as price action opportunities that occur once the market paints some bars. The combination of both gives us our setups for the day. With the volatility the way it's been, and every day is different, we're looking probably about 3 to 4 points on our profit targets and stops, and we're looking probably to make on average 4 or 5 trades a day. As that's the average. Obviously, there is going to be more than that and less than that, depending on volatility and movement in the market. Lately, there's been a lot more than that, but it'll make up for those days when we're not moving around so much. All right, so we're just kind of hanging around our pivot here, trying to see which way we're going to go. Remember that the had an ADP number that came out wasn't too favorable. Yeah, we'll see what how the market deals with that, as they had some good numbers from, I think Google came out with their numbers, and they were very good. So we'll see what the day brings. Yeah, Google did come out with their reported a set of blockbuster earnings late Tuesday, but perhaps the more notable news is the rare 20-for-1 split that added to the wave of investor enthusiasm. 20-for-1. It's only the second time the company has split its shares since going public in 2004. And while it doesn't really affect the fundamentals, the move will make the stock more affordable or easier to execute some option contracts. Shares of Alphabet rose 10% pre-market to a gain of over $3,000, or the $3,000 level. So that was good for anybody who owns that. But again, that's why I think we're up here. Hey, Don, and you around? If you are, can you jump in here with me? I had to leave a little bit early today. Got a lot of snow around here, and I have to drive my wife someplace because she's a little nervous about driving. It's going to be a snowy day all day today in Chicago. The range of snow in Chicago here is from 2 inches to 12. Depends where you live. It's crazy. All right. We will put up the levels in the chat box here for in a couple of seconds here. If those of you have missed it, as the market here kind of gravitates between both sides of our pivot, so really not going anywhere fast. So Google came out with good earnings here. That's kind of propelling the market, a continuation of this little rally that it's had once it broke the dominating bar from last Monday, closed on highs on Friday, and then now it's continuing this little rally here. We could say that if it breaks that dominating bar, that we're going to have a follow through one way or the other, and it's been doing that here. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box area. Don't mind questions. We like questions. So we did have ADP that came out here this morning, and really that's about the only fundamental news that's going to be released. Obviously, if ADP is released on Wednesday, that means unemployment is coming out Friday. And if you look at the chat box area, you'll see the levels that we are giving out as a guide to the day. And again, we can add to those, subtract from them, delete some of them, tweak them a little bit depending on the price action. Nothing here is etched in stone. This is future trading, so adjustments are always the most important part of trading, I think. You adjust those is based on risk tolerance and also based on kind of what the market is telling us. And any of the stuff that I talk about is obviously taught in our education course so that you understand what those changes are and make them according to your risk tolerance. All right. Hey, Don, how you doing?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Good. Not too bad. We're getting snowed in and you're getting iced in, I think.
Yes, we're going to get down in 29s by this weekend.
Oh, that's our highs we're hoping for.
I'm thinking about moving. It's too cold here.
Oh, come on up. Come on over. Okay, I'm sure we have a lot of snow. We have this like band of snow that's going right over us.
Yeah.
And if you go 30 miles to the north or to the south, it's 10 more inches of snow.
Is it when you get snow? Do you get a lot of icing with it, or is it just?
Well, it depends. It depends on the weather beforehand. Like yesterday was raining, right? And then the rain, as the temperature dropped down, it became icy. So it became a little bit. You have to be a little bit careful. And the trucks were out yesterday in the rain, putting salt on the streets so that the icing doesn't occur. But then overnight and this morning all day, they say it's going to be snowing all day. And if the snow comes, and like I said, it's in the 20s, these guys are great. And they're great to tell me what the temperature in Florida is going to be. Actually, that's too cold for Florida, isn't it? 50s, high 50s. That's chilly for you guys. You're almost like the California people. You're like wearing your fur coats in the 50s. Maybe not as bad as California people. Feels great here. Of course it does. Trying to make us feel bad. You're closer to Florida than I am, that's for sure.
We're about equal in height as the panhandle of Florida.
Yeah. As we slowly drift up here to our 70 area. Depending on how you're scaling in, maybe you got in, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Again, we're not going to be perfect here. So yeah, so we have to, my wife's a little scared, or not scared, but unsure of herself when she's driving in the snow. It's supposed to snow all day, so I have to take her out. She has a couple appointments and to go and take care of my grandson for me. So, all right, so we'll come up here, test the 70 area by getting up here to 69, and maybe some of you were able to scale in around that area. Bonds here rotating to the upside. Again, kind of doing their own thing here. Even the yield on the bonds on the 10s is 178, and they were up as high as 190. So again, flattening of the yield curve, a little bit of a concern here to the market. A nice rotation here against our 70 area. We got up to 69 and rotated off. I don't know if some of you were able to get in against it, scale in against it. If you did, then you got a nice return here. So now the 70 area is a little bit more tenuous as far as if you didn't get in at 70, you have to be mindful here that it's going to be a lot more dangerous or suspect, whatever words you want to use here, in regards to this level versus if you got it just a couple minutes ago. Alonda, thanks for your help, guy. I appreciate everybody telling us how hot it's going to be around the world. Thanks, appreciate it. I think they do this. Actually, it's not cold. It's like in the 20s, and then for Chicago, it's not cold. I mean, I don't mind it. It's just the snow that's a pain. But the problem is that to your point there, Don, if I don't go take care of the driveway and it's supposed to get in the single digits overnight, then we have a problem with the snow getting frozen and becoming a problem. I'm sure if I had one of your tractors, Don, take me a second to clean my driveway up.
Yeah, you just take that 7-foot box blade and back up, pile it up someplace.
That's right. I have no idea what that means, but yeah, it's much better than my snowblower. It's about, 18 inches wide. I have to go back and forth a few times. If I had something 7 feet, yeah, that's a couple of times it'll be done with. I did have a service that came out to my house to took care of my driveway, but I have this like odd shaped driveway, and they always like threw the snow on my side of the garage. And so they come and they clean the driveway off, and I got to still go and clean my driveway off, but my side of the garage off because they threw all the snow there. I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any good. And so I said, screw this, I'll just do it myself. I got myself a nice snowblower. It works great. It's the best invention in the world. That's all I can say. All right, we're coming back here. Nice rotation against our first level of resistance up there at the 70 area. Got up to 69 and came off. Now we're swiftly coming down here to the 49 area. See what it wants to do here. Again, it's been doing that last week, going to our high or low and then rotating back up to our first level. I wish it does that every time and I could tell you to hang in there, but who knew? Did you know, Don, that I was going to do that? I wish I could tell you that was going to happen.
Well, yeah, I got long this morning coming out.
Okay. And guess what? We go down to 50 and a half here instead of 49. Now we've been doing that a lot lately, also missing it by just about a point. Let's see what it wants to do here on this rotation. So we're still on the same bar, so it's still doable. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. And if you look at the chat box area, you will see the levels that we gave out this morning. Like I said, as a guide to the day. They're there to help us find areas that we think that the market, we might be interested in trading, areas that we think that the market will rotate off of. All right, there, Philip. Philip got in there at the 69 area and did okay with that. Nice trade.
One. I'm amazed at these overnight bars that are 50 and 70 and 100-point ranges.
Well, not lately. But
last night the range last night.
Oh, you mean the whole night? Yeah. That again, that's what happens when we're obviously still. What's the VIX at?
2193.
Yeah, it's getting lower, but if it stays in this 21 area, we'll be good. Yeah, hopefully.
And I thought for sure they'd take it to that 47 area.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's why. But I also thought that they might stop a little bit before, and that's why I put in the 49. Well, at least great minds thinking the same.
Well, I had the 54, and I had a 51.
Mm-hmm. What's the correlation between the VIX and the S&Ps? Well, the VIX is volatility. As a volatility index, that's what the VIX is. So how we correlate that with the S&Ps is will let us know as far as our stops are concerned, if we have to expand them a little bit, or we have to keep them a little tighter. Like right now, we're back at the 3-4 point stops. And you know, when the VIX is up in the high 20s or 30s, we're probably, you're looking more at the VIX, our stops being probably, you know, like we were doing a couple last week, we're up at 7, 8, somewhere in that range. So the VIX is just a volatility index, and how we use that is going to help us with, I mean, it's not the only thing we're looking at, but it's going to help us with understanding where we put our stops in and how much slippage we're going to have to allow, based on what the market is doing as far as volatility is concerned. So that's how we use the VIX for us. And, you know, it's just a guide so much to know that if the VIX gets too high, and it's the volatility is too great, then, you know, like I was suggesting last week to some of, so whoever wanted to wait until the volatility goes down a little bit, so that the movement in those bars aren't as great as they were, because they were moving 3-4 points in a flash. And if that was too much for you, then you know, we have to wait a little bit. So. All right. So again, we got down to 50 and change there. So if you're a little risk averse and you're concerned about the 49 area, then that's okay. You don't have to take it. Wait till we get down to 37. That would be your next support area if you're a little bit more risk averse, since we kind of missed it by just a little bit. And the same thing on the upside there with the 70 area. We got up to 69 and kind of traded off of it. So the 69 definitely is not, I mean, the 70 area is not a strong area anymore. We are probably going to look at 79 as the next level of resistance. All right, markets coming back down here. We have 49, but like I said, it already got down to the 50 area. So 49 is not as strong as it was. And so if you're more risk averse, then just wait. Again, we kind of try to explain risk involved in levels, how to find these levels, how to trade these levels when you get them, what to do with them when you have a trade on, how you're going to trade them. Understand the risk involved, because everybody has their own risk tolerances here. There's not one person that trades the same way. And so you have to understand your risk tolerance and understand what the market's risk is, and then adjust that trading so that you can maximize and be comfortable in trading and maximize the profits for yourself. That's what we try to do here on an everyday basis. And that's what we do in our education course, is try to explain risk to you and make sure you understand you know, what is happening and why you would cancel a level, why you would keep it on, so on and so forth. So we talked about the risk here. It's a riskier trade, the 49, since we just missed it by a little bit. So we continue to down take. The next support level we have is down at the 37 area. Yeah, it might stop here, it might not. It doesn't really matter. You're always going to have another opportunity to trade. You know, it doesn't. It's okay if you don't take the trade and you're looking for the next trade. Remember, we're trying to minimize the risk here that we have, right? Not every trade has the same amount of risk tolerance. It's out there based on price action. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at the price action to help us dictate.
Come on, back to 54.
It's trying. All right, there's a 54. Nice rotation there against the level that we had down there. Again, it all depends on your risk tolerance and if you were willing to understand the risk involved and the level and then trade it accordingly. And like I said, if you didn't take it, that's okay. We'll look at our next level or next trading opportunity. And so nice rotation there against our upper resistance area there at 70. We got up to 69, and then a rotation here down to the well, we got down to 40, 45 and change there. Yeah, 45, and then rotated up. But again, it depends on how you scaled in. Maybe you adjusted, maybe you got in a lower end. Again, everybody trades a little bit differently. You can make adjustments to the level and based on the price action, and that's what we were trying to tell you there while we were explaining what was happening when we got down to the 50 and change before we got down to 49. So doesn't mean that you didn't take it, doesn't mean that some people did, some people didn't. It's okay. Either way, we will look for the next opportunity. Hey, Elmar, how are you? Good, good, good. All right, nice rotation there against our first level of support. Can we repeat the levels there in the chat for those of us who might have missed it? Yeah. Those are the levels that we're going to use as a guide to the day. There they are. You can see the 49 level on the downside got down to 45 and change. Maybe you adjusted because of the price action prior to that. Price action prior to that was down to 50, and then we said we can make an adjustment. You can cancel it. You can leave it in. All depends on what your risk tolerances are. If you made the adjustment, entered a little bit lower than that, then you did okay. It would then get stopped out and nice rotation back up here. Again, everybody trades a little bit differently, so not everybody trades the same. So you're always have to make adjustments based on your risk tolerance. We talked about the risk, and you have to adjust accordingly. Our next support level we have on the downside is down at 37, as you can see. And resistance right now would be around the pivot area there. See what it wants to do there, if we get back up there or not. We don't have any economic reports coming out this morning. We had ADP, which is private sector jobs number that came out, the ADP report, and it was a big miss. They were expecting 180, positive 184,000, came out at minus 300, and they are saying that most of that is due to Omicron. We'll find out next month, I guess. The market really didn't react negatively to it, so it's kind of hanging in there with it, and didn't do anything bad with it. Now we're just kind of hanging here on these lows, trying to see what they want to do. Made a new low by a tick. All right. So no economic reports. Obviously, when we have ADP coming out on Wednesday, we're going to have unemployment number on Friday. Always an exciting moment for the market. Again, the trade on that unemployment days that haven't been great, but you never know. We haven't had or needed unemployment for us to get volatile, so it's okay. Bonds, though, rotating up here to the upside. Very interesting move there in the bond market. Kind of just doing it on its own here. On the highs, we had the yield there on the bond. The 10-year was at 178, and that was at the beginning of the day, so it's obviously a little lower now. Always intrigued by what the bond market does. Kind of, they kind of held steady when the break was happening last week, and they didn't get too excited. They didn't get rattled, and we came all the way back. So we'll see what that means. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. We are trading mini S&P equity futures. We used to trade, have a booth on the floor of the exchange, and used to hear all the yelling and screaming from the floor, but that's not happening anymore. So we are from our home and my cozy house, warm basement, except when I have to go outside. And it's a little chillier here in Chicago. All right, we're coming up here. There's a little resistance around the pivot area here. If you're a little bit aggressive, depends on your risk tolerance. If you're going to take it at all, if not, that's fine. Just wait for our upper resistance area, which is at the 79 area.
You know,
That's
I want 63 and that blue band sitting
the
at
blue band
62.
just sitting there just saying, it ain't coming there, Don. It's not happening.
I guess 62.
Oh, it's trying. There you go. Oh, spoke it just a little bit too soon. It's trying to get it for you.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, the blue band always gets in the way.
It does.
All right. I'm going to continue to rally here a little bit, see what it wants to do. And coming back up here to range overnight, so kind of a little bit neutral as far as we're concerned. Nothing to get too excited about, unless you're trading the blue band, obviously.
My problem with the blue band is usually when I get to it, I'm trying to get out of a position.
Right. Oh, yeah. Maybe you should like reverse.
Yeah. Well, 63 should have bounced it. It did. So.
It did. It did. You got a nice rotation there off of 63. And the blue band worked as well. So got 2-3 points off of that. Nice little rotation there. Again, it's being patient and waiting for opportunity is very important if you're trading, especially if you're trading electronically, which we all are. I can tell you honestly, by having to make that transformation from the pit to online, that's what I have had to learn more than anything else, is to be patient and wait for opportunities to present themselves instead of just trading. I mean, I would love to trade. I mean, you're talking about a person who would trade 2,000 or 3,000 bonds in a day, and that was in 2 hours or 3 hours, right?
When you started in the pit, do they have a basic minimum of how many you have to trade?
No. I mean, I was trading one lot just so that I can learn.
Yeah.
You know, you better trade one lot so you can learn. And then what happens then is that where you are in the pit itself, like, you know how the pit is like shaped upwards. Mm-hmm. That's how you slowly move yourself up if you start trading more volume. So, you know, it took me years before I could get to the top step. You know, and that took a bit, you know, but for the longest amount of time, I was right in the middle of this second or third step down from the top.
Did you trade the rail, the upper rail?
I was trading the rail.
Man, you were a big dog.
No, there were much bigger dogs than me. Trust me, much bigger dogs than me. I stayed. I tried. You have to try to stay within yourself, because if you try to watch somebody else and what they do, they are. You're like, whoa, how can they do that? I can never do what some of these guys did. So I just stuck to my own guns, did what I was comfortable doing, which is what we talk about here all the time. And you know, you make a little bit of money, and you're out of there. Take it easy, Hilmar. Take it easy. Don't start giving me new names now. See what you just did. See what you just did now? See what you just did? I don't give any stock recommendations as far as any, you know, Michael, not my cup of tea. But I will tell you that my friend who is recommends stocks, he liked it, but I don't. He liked it before today. So did I buy any? No, but I might buy some today. But that's me. But again, I'm not. We don't give any stock recommendations here. What we do here, we're just trading the index. So sorry, I can't help you out there as far as any stock. But it is. I did hear. I got word this morning that it was on a lot from my friend who did buy it, and it's based on his recommendation. So
The only thing I'm sure of, if I buy something, short it because it's going down. We gotta sit here and trade around this pivot for a little while, it looks like.
So the question is, when I started on the floor, who put trading money in my, who puts in trading money for the rookies? Is that your own or the big boys? Well, that's a good story. Well, so I was in college in the Chicagoland area here, and I took a futures class, and they took us onto the floor. I think I was a junior, and I loved it. And didn't know that I was going to do this for a living, obviously, back then. So I go I go to my father and I said, Dad, I really like this trading thing. It's kind of cool. And he goes, I really want to do it. And he goes, okay. He goes, well, can I do it now? I was like a junior. He goes, you're not doing anything now. Because you're going to finish your school. So I did ask him for money to trade. And that wasn't happening. So I graduated in accounting, believe it or not, CPA, and did all that stuff and worked. And then an opportunity came up for me to trade, and I took it. I figured, I was young enough, and if things worked out good, then be okay. If it didn't, I can always go back to. Yes, it was my own money, and it was. I didn't borrow any money or nobody helped me out there. So it was, the worst thing that could happen to you when you start trading is that you start making money right away. Because then you are thinking that this stuff's easy. So I am lucky that I did not make money right away. I didn't make money for the first a month or so. I mean, I had one day that was okay, another day that didn't. It was rough. And but after about 3 months or 4 months, I started making money, and the rest is history, as they say. But initially, if you start making money right away in this business, it's probably the kiss of death, because then you're thinking to yourself, this stuff's really easy. And the market always has a way of slapping you down, putting you in your place if you get too cocky. That I can tell you. Through many years of trading, every time I thought I figured this out, this is easy, here comes that bad day. So
yep.
It always happens that way. Always slaps you back down, puts you in your place. But such as trading, every day is a new day. There's not one day that's the same as the last. That's the interesting and exciting and hard part for some, interesting part for others. And not everybody's cut out to be a trader. It's not in everybody's DNA. Some people like consistency. I like to come here, and every day presents its own set of dynamics and opportunity or not. And I've been doing this for a long time, so I can handle the pressure and handle the ebbs and flows. But some people, they depending on where you are in your life, if you're doing this for a side, if you're learning if you want to learn this because you got another job or another business, totally cool and get it. until you figure this out, and then maybe you can just do this for a living. Again, it all depends on what I've learned. More importantly about trading online is that you have to pick your spots, be patient, and wait for the opportunities. Now, where those spots are depends on how much education you have and what you're looking for as far as opportunity in each trade. That's what we're here for. But again, everybody, if you've had some experience before trading and you've got your own set of setups, that's cool too. Yeah, we're just kind of here to help us guide us along with some levels. And this trading room started because when I was on the floor trading, I was standing next to a whole bunch of people. And then all of a sudden I go upstairs to my office and I'm like stuck between these like walls, and then nobody's talking to me except the television, which you can only watch CNBC so much because then it become really boring. And so I just said, let's get a group of guys together, because I know some of my other trader friends wanted just to get a little back and forth, just somebody to talk about the markets. And so that's why we started the room. And now now we got Don with me. How can I complain? So
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse yet.
oh, well, it's a blessing for me. I don't know about for you, because I'm going to need you today. So you're always bailing me out when I have to take out. Like next week, you're going to be helping me. So I appreciate that. All right, Don, with those little stories that I gave, you got it. And the 70 above, be a little bit careful because we already got up to 69. So we're looking maybe more at 79. The downside, we got a little bit of a sell there below the 44, looking for the 37, I think. And in the middle here, be patient and wait.
Yep.
All right, Don, you got it. Okay.
Okay. Have a good day.
I'll talk to you later. Good day. I got to deal with snow. Thanks a lot.
Oh, bless your heart.
Easy, Hilmar. Easy, Hilmar. Easy, buddy. Easy. Don't start that now. Don't go tell Brad that you need that up on the website or nothing like that. Don't give him any ideas. No.
We call it the Big Dog Show.
Yeah, when you're on.
Guys, we're just twiddling our thumbs. We're trading back at around our pivot. Let's see, what do we have here? If anybody asks, I'm trying to get out of a hole. There we go. I was watching that 54 as we were coming down into it. That's not one of our numbers. It was just a number that I had. Be nice if we take it up to 58, 59 area, but it is what it is. And I am flat. I'm not as entertaining as Saul. There we go.